Drastic deterioration in security across Burkina Faso as 70,000 flee their homes in past 2 months. The landlocked West African country of Burkina Faso is facing unprecedented displacement, triggered by armed groups and intercommunal clashes, and exacerbated by long-term food insecurity, UN aid officials on Tuesday. According to the UN Humanitarian Coordination Office, more than 70,000 have fled their homes in the last 2 months. Reports indicate increased insecurity, violence, a continuing food crisis, floods and epidemics are among the factors that have plunged Burkina Faso into a full-blown humanitarian crisis, with civilians traumatized after bearing witness to brutal attacks, and many have lost family members and most of their possessions, said an agency. OCHA's spokesperson Jens Laerke described the rise in intercommunal clashes since the second half of last year. These are clashes. On Tuesday, humanitarian partners said that $100 million is needed to reach 898,000 people this year. Complementing that, the UN's Deputy Humanitarian Coordinator, Ursula Mueller, who ended a 4-day visit to the country on Tuesday, said that those funds will make an immediate difference for displaced people, most of whom are women and children. An unprecedented humanitarian emergency is unfolding in violence insecure. Today, around 1.2 million people are in need of assistance in Burkina Faso's Sahel, North Center, and Eastern regions. The $100 million appeal to assist 900,000 of those hardest hit in the landlocked country is only 16% funded, a month after it was launched. As international displacement rates continue to grow, the country is already hosting 25,000 refugees, most of whom are from neighboring Mali, to the north, which has also been racked by instability, extremist violence, and clashes involving armed groups. 93% of Malian refugees depend on humanitarian assistance to survive. Ongoing violence has forced the closure of more than 1,100 schools, depriving around 150,000 children of education. Some 100, after witnessing firsthand the depth of the humanitarian needs, Mr. Mueller reiterated the importance of providing shelter, water, food, and health care timely and sufficiently to thousands of families who continue to flee due to persistent insecurity. Burkina Faso authorities and humanitarian actors have quickly provided assistance. However, more has to be done to meet growing needs of the affected people wherever they may be, she said, adding that the neutrality of aid workers must be respected. The UN agency stressed that more sustained funding is needed to ensure that people in the hardest hit areas are reached with aid. Last year's, more than 40 civilians have been reportedly killed during intercommunal clashes this week in northern Burkina Faso, prompting Antniogudrrs to issue a statement on Friday night condemning the violence and deteriorating security situation in parts of the West African country.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.